The thing with Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh,
I, I had just learned this last night from Moose. It's the first I'd heard of it, and like I get that Vince wants to own the name and all that. I understand that side of it. I really do, but the kind of promo that Moose described to me, if accurate, I think put Brian Jr. In a in an awkward place.
why don't I show it
It's
you? I'll show it you now.
yeah.
Okay, one sec.
I thought that was Brian Pillman. I mean, it was that like woo, like almost caught you.
Yeah.
Something else.
Right, so here is the last minute of the sort of debut promo where Brian Pillman Jr. Renounces the name Brian Pillman.
Yeah.
His own damn son. I lost him when I was just 4 years old. I don't know him. And you'd think being a WWE superstar would be the last thing that I'd want to be. And you're right. And trust me, I've tried everything. I've tried football, lacrosse, hell, I even have a college degree. But this industry has been in my blood since birth, and I could never escape it. I've got no choice but to embrace it. I have no choice but to inflict pain on the very business that has brought me so much grief. But when they see this face, I don't want them to think about my dead father. I want them to think about me. I'm nobody's junior. And from this day forward, I'm gonna take on the last name of the real man who raised me, the real father figure in my life. And his name was King. And now so is mine.
There you go.
Well done.
Yeah, pretty intense.
Yeah, it's and boy, what a full circle that'll be in character development, right? If the writers there are smart enough to carry it through to bring him back to re-embracing it. Not nearly as bad as described to me as I thought. And kudos to Brian. I mean, that was well delivered. Good promo. Okay, I don't know if you saw my face. I was, sort of like, ooh.
No,
like
no, you were on it the entire time. While that video was playing, you were on.
Yeah, it's because I hadn't seen him being able to do that one of those before. So a good step in the right direction. To me, and there's always this time we blur the lines between our real lives and everything. In ECW, we did so many things that fans could say were tasteless, right? Guilty. But for WWE, and I think the audience that they're playing to, I can make a pretty good guess as to where they're going to take it and go with it and do that full circle. Again, great character arc. But on the face of it, it should get people talking. It's again, I thought it was going to be like one of those things of just the way it was described to me, like he just sort of shit on his own father. And maybe he did in other parts of that promo. I don't know, but that to me looked much more like a wrestling promo instead of an exorcism. I just have always been floored by like when Kurt Hennig's kid goes up there and they call him. I get the whole copyright point of it. I really do. But if your last name's Flair or Steamboat or Douglas or San Martino, it's pretty hard to go in and say, well, I'm Joe Smith today, and you don't know who I really am. It just seems like there's a strangeness to that to me that I don't think I'll ever be able to warm up to. And I think it's because of the divide between me and sports entertainment. I've always considered myself a wrestler, but on the delivery of that thing, I thought that was one of the best promos I've ever seen Brian Jr. do. Boy, even the facial, like I said, when you first threw that up, I glanced up and I immediately thought it was Brian. Because I just watched the clips last night, of our match, and Brian had that face that if you were friends with him like we were, it's just like it's like seared in there, grilled in there. But here's the other part, Brian, he's probably upstairs right now going, that's brilliant, great stuff. That was right up Brian's alley. So I'd come to think that when I was going to be critical of that when I saw it. And I still don't like the tap dance of where it's like seemingly at, but on the delivery, and I can see the arc that's coming from it. This could be like one of those first get back to the business type thing of what we do. And I just hope they take it the way that I think they're going to, and take the fans on a hell of a ride with it. But great job, Brian Jr.